On this show, we've heard from farmers, we've heard from retailers, but today we're picking the mind of a young man who went to school, earned skills as a scientist, joined the corporate world and worked, but decided to join the business world as an entrepreneur, anchoring his business on the skills he had earned from school and honed through years of corporate practice.
The availability and quality of water always plays an important role in the quality of life. However, in the world today, the extent of pollution due to discharge of untreated industrial effluents into water bodies is a major problem. Kenneth Iguma saw an opportunity in this problem and is today running an enterprise seeking to solve this challenge.
I have a background of food science, that is a degree and a diploma. By training, I've done a lot in environment, and my journey started from my former employer. I was in a brewing company, and I was attached to environment department. That is where my journey started, and I fell in love with the sector and became very passionate about environment and the science within environment, to be particular, to be specific, in the area of wastewater management. And that is how the idea of BioCore came into place.
So how did Kenneth get into the water treatment business?
I could go to companies, get their waste, more so paper waste. Could get paper waste and take it to town to sell it. And I could get a profit of around 5,000 out of investing maybe 50,000. But what is this? What did that teach me? It was all about starting small and eventually you grow yourself. And it taught me a lot in as far as waste management is concerned. I could go to Pepsi-Cola, speak to the environment manager. I tell them I'm interested in this. You know, the time of disposal, please, I want to be around. Okay, so they could always engage me.
Kenneth believes that his business is tackling a major problem, and it is what is giving him confidence that it is a sustainable venture which will stand the test of time.
If you look at the impact of wastewater onto the major receiving water bodies in the country, for example, Lake Victoria, if you move to the shores of Lake Victoria, around Gaba, around Mulungu, around Miami, you'll see that there is a serious impact. Recently, we are doing a baseline study about the impact of the land use activities on Lake Victoria, and surely you would see that this is too much. We need to see that we work on this. You see that the entire lake has been covered by water hygiene, and this means that we'll have to put in a lot to see that to manage this situation.
At the start, he had to invest in the needed equipment, but how did he mobilize the capital to start?
The lab equipment is quite capital intensive getting it. Okay, so but I started with one by one and one at a time. I could keep it at home. Okay, and when the time came for me to open up an office, I had about 4 machines, the basic machines to start with. Since my target was environment, I had to invest in a COD digester right away because it is a hot cake and it can give you quite a number of parameters to analyze.
Kenneth's story is one of professional monetizing his skills and turning them into a business. Today, he is proud that his business has impacted the community.
When it comes to the researchers, because as I speak now, we have quite a number of researchers from South Sudan, from institutions within Uganda like Makerere, like UCU, like KIU, like Chamboko, Mbarara and DJ. They come and do research with us here, specifically environmental research, and they make use of our lab to run their lab tests.
Today, his operations have seen him attain recognition from major standards agencies in the country. Feats he is holding so dear.
We should be the first private lab in the sector of environment. Yeah, we have a lab where we do water quality analysis, And we do other things like environment impact assessment, we do environmental audits, and we do biogas production. Okay, so all these are connected to environment.
We live in tough times where some of us have lost jobs or others are on the verge of exiting the companies where we're working because of the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on businesses. But to experts, it might be the beginning of a new chapter in your life. Today, we try to look at what you can do to weather the storm, but then also survive probably outside the comfort zone of that corporate job where you're sitting today.
Well, I need to congratulate you for losing your job. It's a bad situation, but it's also an opportunity. So you can make two choices. You can sit in your bedroom and cry and hope that your employer will call you back, or you can stand up and get going. Look at what you have. Each of us has a unique skill. Because surely your employer was paying you because you're doing something, you're offering some value in the business. What if you monetize that value? Because, again, if you have been an employee and you've been working for a media house, for instance, don't say, oh, I'm going to start a school. Because you need much time to learn. It's a new industry. So try to monetize the skill that you already have. So it's a challenge that you're facing, but it's also an opportunity. Because in Uganda we say, akugoba yakuwe kubo. So instead of being despondent and staying in the bedroom and saying, oh, things are hard, government is difficult, employers are ungrateful and so on, at the end of the day, you can make the choice to rise up and to do something. Start by studying, move around. Which industries are moving? Now, because it's a crisis. Which people are actually making money now? Where do the opportunities lie? Can I go to organizations and ask? Can I go to the Federation of SMEs and have a chat and see? Can I talk to entrepreneurs and they advise me and so on? So take time to learn. Don't just rush. Yes, you may believe that you're competent, you're able to start a business and so on, but take time to learn and to study the situation and to see which industries are on the up and which industries are on the down. But what I can say is that you can do it and you can make it. You see, if other people have the ability to start businesses and employ you, you definitely can do the same. So I wouldn't, if you expect me to come and say, oh, sorry, it's too bad, government will set up a special stimulus package for people who have been laid off, I can't say that. What I can say is that you have the duty, you have the responsibility, and you have the ability to make a successful entrepreneur.
Well, that brings us to the end of this week's edition of Man and Markets. Thank you for being part of the show. Now, from me and team, we'd like to wish you a very good evening. Remember to drop us a line for any questions, comments, or suggestions. Use the addresses on your screen. We'll be here to answer any of those questions. Until next time, have a good evening. Bye-bye.